Okay, and now it's time for that. Okay. How's it going? And we're in for okay. Welcome to another response video here, and a glass of ginger ale and coffee mixed, which I just made like 8K whatever minutes ago. The first time I no all right, okay. Welcome to the Brains Whole stage again here, and my favorite, and yeah. So I am doing another Kat Blaque or a Kat Blaque response video. While drinking my ginger ale and coffee mix. While drinking my favorite ginger ale and coffee. How's my hair? So first off, I explained about my ginger ale and coffee mix, and next to that, I use a haircut, and third to that, coat. This is another Kat Blaque oriented response video, responding not only to Kat but to the world of Kat. Responding not only to Kat personally, but to the world, around the transgeneral, around the quote unquote transgenual women of the black nature, maybe even the white nature as well. You know, I'm just because this is more of a of a black transgendering, which is what I'm going after. Not going after, like going up to the front door or anything like that. I wasn't making a reference to that. I was saying going after, like talking about it, or them. But anyway, the transgeneral. I love that word I just put together. Transgenual. I mean, there's a trend, like trending, I mean, there's a trans sexual, and whatever sexual, but I think when it comes to the transgender black women, especially if they're polyamorous, the only real thing I found them out to, the only real thing I find them to be is interesting as hell. Interesting as hell, weird as hell, cute as hell, loving, uh, loving as hell. I, I, I don't, I don't have any causes against them. I, I, you know, being, being a heterosexual, which I'm not going to say that I am, which I'm not going to say is, I, well, I mean, I am heterosexual, but I'm one of the more sensitive ones. You know, I'm like a, I'm like an insanely sensitive, uh, you know, and in fact, I'm oversensitive of of my heterosexual nature. I'm also very sensitive of my Down syndrome, which I don't like to get into. I really don't want people to know that part about me because I I I've been there. You know, I've been there. I've got the badge. I don't need to get into it. But anyways, but the, but it's like it's more like I mean this is partly about me, but it's more about Kat and her and, and her and her transgenual um tranquility. Um, and, and this term and and this term transgender I really like. And and as much as I don't mind the word and the nature of transgender, I it it's getting used more for like it's getting used to the point of like I don't want to bitch or pry on it, but I it's it's becoming real heavy. It's becoming really heavy. Like I mean it's been heavy. Uh, Emotional bondage for pretty much all of them, but especially especially for Kat because that is because the, because that is a suffering, and it's also some, something to be not hated because there are too many people in the world that hate whatever um so and so, and like hate is like liquid, like it 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 can I be like you know it's nothing old. It this it it's not old. This is not old news. I mean, it's happening to people in my field too. You know, Down syndrome, um, be, being put down lower than dirt. You know, being treated differently, being handled in every which way you could think of. Like I mean, kids with Down syndrome or trisomy 21. Hope I got that number right. Has has almost little of no chance getting educated in the real people's world. You know, they like I mean, teachers today. I guess they're giving them a chance now, I but I never got it. But I never got it. You know, the the thing that straightened me out was going to libraries. All was going to libraries and doing the library system and 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 doing a lot of things that got me past the threshold of education. Did I I did not get it from kindergarten. I did not get it from high school. I did not get it anywhere. But I turned that around and I just made my own. Like I was, you know, I was being punished in the education field. You know, I I was be I I was the poster boy of getting no education because I have Down syndrome. I I it, I I also was the poster boy of bowling and, and all things special and all things events relating around Down syndrome and of the Down syndrome nature. Um, but but to show but to show you but to show you what I did, but to show but but to show you the background and but to tell you the background of where of where I am in the Down syndrome universe is really the same as Kat. You know, in the trans in the trans in the trans general in the transgender general as in the trans general neighborhood. You know, like she lives there. She really doesn't live there. She maybe maybe has a door of a house in there, but come on, people. Like, I mean, my my backstory is not that much different from Kat's. We we both gotta suffer with something that we just, you know, we don't want. I wish I had nothing to do with Down syndrome, and 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 that's not to poke fun at Down syndrome in general. That's telling people that I myself personally do not enjoy having Down syndrome. I I don't I I mean I mean I I I don't mind playing second fiddle to something, but Down syndrome. I mean, come on. That's that's who I am. That that is not who I am. Okay, folks. That is not who I am. And and that's not Kat Blaque either. In in the in the transgenual uh, neighborhood, you know, and of that and of that emotional baggage. Like I like like I like like I like like I mean I like Kat a lot. And and if she were, and if she was right here beside me, I'd want to say that to her. You know, like in this basement of my home. If she was here, I want to say that to her I because I love all people. I don't care what they have, you know. But me myself personally, I cannot stand having Down syndrome. You know, it drove me mad. It scarred me the most. It and it still drives me mad. I can't I can't I can't live. I cannot live in the world knowing that someone is going to pinpoint everything I, you know, look behind a bush and look at everything I'm doing, and then come out and pigeonhole me. You know, and I think and I've seen and I've seen and watched Kat Blaque stuff so far, and and and, and, and I could and I could and I could swear I I could swear that was me I was looking at. You know, because she reflects. She is my reflection in the mirror. You know, like she's the person I'm seeing in the mirror. But because I I I don't know what happened there. I connected with her. I connected with her with on such an emotional level. It was it was as if I had known her my entire life, my entire existence. And it just I like you know it's as if I'd known Kat my entire life, and like she was, and like she was in the background of those Down syndrome and everything else because you need. Like she was in the background watching me, you know. Like she was in the background of those Down syndrome oriented dances, those peculiar needed, special needs, which I don't like saying, dances. I could swear she was in the background, you know, mingling and watching me. Like when you find you miss right, you you know it. But but I just know. But like I mean, I don't want to scare anybody off the atmosphere. But Kat, but Kat Blaque means something to me, and I just can't. I no no knowing 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 that her transgender monkey in the closet is really my monkey in the closet, but he has Down syndrome. It it's the same darn monkey. It's the same skeleton in the closet. Like he goes to Kat's front door and he's transgender and black, but then he comes to my front door and he's got Down syndrome. So like I can't help it. I'm so connected to Kat. It's like I'm so emotionally connected with Kat. It's you know she could have very well been in the background of when I was you know possibly getting possibly possibly you know getting like knocked around with my Down syndrome exterior. You know, al- always coming halfway up to the glass is full area. But my glass was never full. It wasn't even empty either. It wasn't even empty, know, and I know what that feels like. I know what it feels like to have somebody looking at you from afar, like in the bushes or somewhere, and and they're watching, and, and they're watching you, and they're watching you. They're putting down notes in a book of everything you're doing, everything you're feeling, every even when you breathe, even when you even when you take that first breath of air. They got to write down. They got to write down in a notebook, and and then they come out of the blue, and then they just go all over you. You know, they dance all over your head. They they rip out the very thing that makes you feel special. And and like, how stupid is that? Like, I mean, come on. When it comes to when it comes when it comes to people like me and Kat and and like I mean, I'm in the dark as far as Down syndrome is concerned. So But when it's not done, see, like I broke out of that ages ago. I broke out of that, and I even broke out of living in the world. I'm off to the side of it now. Watching the freak show. Which is the world. I'm watching it from afar. You know, because because somewhere along the line, I I couldn't take I couldn't take all this like weighing up the truth. I couldn't take all of this eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth business. You know, and that's any kind of an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and and a cracked rib for a broken leg. The labeling, government, uh, like I mean, you name it, Justin Trudeau. Like I can, I, I don't, I don't take that stuff in anymore, and I never will. Who, who, who I was as a Down syndrome slave, I guess you could put it, and call it. Like I'm not, I'm not that slave anymore, but it still haunts me. Not gonna lie, it still haunts me, but it, you know, like I'm running the other way. I'm getting the blazes out of there. I don't want anything to do, and I'm not talking about Down syndrome people in general. Okay, I'm talking about the actual Down syndrome. I I don't mind talking to people who have Down syndrome. I do not mind being around them, but that's not my playground anymore. You know, that's not where I go to have fun. I I don't I don't want to have a kind of Down syndrome version of having fun, and and of course for me it still comes and of course for me it still comes up. Being the shadow in a room that nobody's caring enough to say, hey, there's a now there's a fun looking man. Is that a chicken dinner he's eating? Switch the leg. Is that boy? I wish I had that chicken he's eating. Butterscotch sundae. I sure wish I was eating that. Right. I sure wish I was having one of those. We'll sit and having a conversation with him. Right there, right there. Somehow, like I mean, that's happening now, I guess. But really, like I mean, this guy has had enough of that Down syndrome and transgendering emotional baggage. Because when you suffer like that, you automatically are suffering in silence. In silence, and it's fair, and it's not fair. It's no, it's not fair because I'm crying out in the wilderness. I know I'm hearing me, and Kat is probably the closest one person. Is probably the closest person that is hearing me cry in the wilderness. So come on, like I can't help it if I found my miss right. I cannot help that. I cannot help that I feel for Kat, even though there's this connection, there's this bond that I just there's this emotional connection, emotional bond, and it's bad, and it's great. I, I've never seen anybody so wonderful. I've never seen anybody control a YouTube audience the way she controls a YouTube audience. I, I have never seen art and artistic and the passion she has for it. You know, I've never seen anybody who's got more of a love. I've never seen anybody who's got such a wonderful voice for singing. Like and and acting, acting. I mean, these are all things that I love. These are all things that I love. Acting, singing. Having not a, having not really a light, having like all the things she loves: singing, acting, uh, arts, whether it's virtual arts or the arts in general. Like, I mean, come on. Like, I mean, wow. Plus, she's got a transgendering. Plus, she's got a transgenual uh, package. You know, a, a trans a transgenual. Sorry, a transgenual uh, background and exterior. But but if you can't look beyond that, then it's not very you know, if you can't look beyond the exterior, then you're not looking at the person at all. You know, like you're not. You're looking at an idea. You know, like you're looking at the idea of that person. You're not looking at that person at all. If you can't look past the transgenual, um, you know, uh, I just said it. Extension. Um, uh, like you can't, like if you're choosing not to look beyond their exterior, thank you, um, then you're choosing not to look at that person at all. You know, you're choosing not to look at that person at all. You're putting a wall there that shouldn't be there. You know, you're building a brick wall between you and that person just by doing that. You know, you're not accepting who they are. You're not looking at who they are. You're just thinking, oh, they're transgender. Oh, they are Down syndrome. Oh, okay. These are the people that we should avoid, like the plague. We don't know what they can. We don't know what they're capable of. Seriously, they're good people too. Only you're not seeing that. You're seeing that you know, like we're handicapped or something. But we, we are. We are not handicapped. We're not even capped. You know. So who are you to say that a transgender black woman is not the same? They're not. They are. They are. You know. They are. Kat is the same person as me. Okay, she has a transgender exterior. So what? That doesn't mean that she's that way. That does not mean her heart is transgender. Her body is. Her body is transgender, but within inside of that body is a heart. And I'm choosing to look at that. I'm, I'm choosing to look way beyond the brick wall of that transgendering and transgenual thing and going past it. You know, I know she's got that. I know she's got that, but come on. Like I accept Kat for who she is. transgender package at all. Like I knew that before I subscribed. And it's because I subscribed, I wasn't looking at, oh, Kat Blaque is transgender. I better walk away from this. No, I was interested in what she had to say, in what she had to bring to the table. I did not once back away when she said that she was transgender. Not once. And I'm not going to do it. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm putting my foot down here. I'm sorry to get loud, but, you know, I have the right to be loud if I want to be outspoken about this. Right here. You know? This right here. The Hoyt. The heart. The heart of Kat is not transgender at all. Her soul. Her spirit. Her body is. And that's the difference. There's the difference right there, bub. She's not all transgender. And I'm sorry, but I don't have the heart to walk away from someone who is very wonderful. Pardon me, very wonderful, and criticize and put her down for it. And when it comes to the transgender exterior, she's not like she's it's just not there in my view. You know, she's not transgender to me. She's just Kat Blaque. Kat Blaque, who is fun, artistic, wants to be heard, wants to be seen, and is owning herself, and is owning, and is not gonna take a shit from people that you know. I'm not gonna sit around and let people. I'm not gonna sit around and let people pick at Kat or anyone like Kat, because she, like I mean, this is a person for crying out loud. Kat is a person, not a transgender robot. You know, she's not the robot of transgender nature. She is not a robot. You know, she's not a number. She is not a transgender exterior. She's a person. You know, she is not the poster woman of being black and transgender. So why would she start? You know, like I mean, come on. Kat is a lot of things, but a bad person is not one of them. She stands up for what she believes in. She's waving the flag and saying, "Hey, I don't buy this shit. I don't buy this shit. I am who I am, and if you can't accept that, stop." She's waving the flag. Kat's waving the flag and saying, "I don't buy this shit. I don't buy this shit. I might look at the shit, but I'm not gonna buy it." That's Kat. That's Brendan here. Me. I don't buy that shit. I might look at shit, but I'm not gonna buy it. You know, and it's not important, and that's important. The human spirit is more important than the human body because the human body can only go so far. As for the spirit, can go anywhere it wants.